Welcome everybody to episode 2 of the Financial Independence Project. Okay, so today we will be discussing the importance of setting financial goals. Okay, but again, please be mindful. This podcast is specifically designed for research purposes only. So everybody, please do your own research. I am not, and I repeat, I am not a financial advisor. Currently, I have a life insurance license. I help people with tax-free retirement planning. In my past, I have also dealt with different mortgages. I was a mortgage loan officer, so refinancing, helping people save money, tapping into their equity, paying off debt. So I've done a lot of different things, and I've helped a lot of people in my 9 years. So this podcast is really designed to just give people a foundation. And then eventually we will progress to things that are more advanced strategies that I've helped others implement. And if you're interested, reach out. But again, today, so we're going to talk about the importance of setting financial goals. All right. And to do that, I wanted to start off with a few quotes. Okay. The first of which is, the only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. That's by Tony Robbins. Another one by Tony Robbins says, goals are like magnets. They attract the things that make them come true. Without goals and plans to reach them, you are like a ship that sets sail with no destination. And that's by Fitzhugh Dodson. Go to the Bible, write it down, make it plain. Writing is an act of faith, not a trick of grammar. E.B. White. And then finally, from my personal mentor, David Hutchison, what gets measured gets improved. So all of these have something in common. You have to write it down. You have to have that idea in your mind, and it has to be specific. Because if you just say, I want to be rich, how do you know if you ever met your goal? What is rich to you? And once you have that particular number in mind, you can reverse engineer it. You can start by giving yourself annual goals, monthly goals, daily goals. You can break it down into actionable steps that make it much easier to reach the place that you already have set in your mind. Because going from point A to point Z is very difficult. But if you can go from point A to point B, it makes it a lot easier. Point B to point C, and you look back over the course of a day, a month, a year, multiple years, you'll see how much you've actually accomplished. So, there is also one last quote that I wanted to bring up. It really made me think of Bob Proctor. I love Bob Proctor. Rest in peace to one of the greatest speakers, understanding of paradigms, and really helping people shift their mindset. And a lot of people talk about manifestation, but I don't know if they honestly know what it means or what that looks like. So he has a theory where he believes nothing new is ever created. Everything is here already. Everything started in somebody's mind. You just had to be able to be in a frequency to be available to receive that idea and then put it out into the world. So what is manifestation? First thing is you have to go from the different dimensions. 2D, you start in the 2D. So you have a thought in your idea, in your mind. You take that thought in your mind and you write it down. You physically write out your idea, because that automatically is already manifesting it. You took it from the 2D down to the 3D. It's in your physical realm where you can see it. And then with the 3D to go into the 4D, you need to start taking action to make that thing come to life. So that's really what I think is so key, because a lot of us have the goal. I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to be my own boss. I don't want to work anymore. I want to be financially free. I want to retire by 40. I want to, but have you only said that? Have you wrote it down? Have you taken the time out to actually see what will it take for me to get there? So it might sound simple as day, but writing out your goals will help you achieve what you want to do. I mean, I've even come to the fact where if you have an idea of a plan and in a place where you want to be in your mind, it makes decision making in your life so much easier. It actually can remove temptation in your life because you can say, hey, I want to go on a vacation. It doesn't even have to be a big goal. I want to go on vacation by May of next year. And I need to save $3,000 comfortably for this vacation. When somebody reaches out to you to go to brunch, you're like, okay, that's in my budget. I can do that. But next week, somebody says, hey, I'm throwing a surprise party and we're going to go out. Can you come? It should remove some of that temptation and guilt because this is not a part of your budget. The way that you need to think about it is this going to be getting me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? And then act accordingly. So I really think this is a very good place to start. Like I said, we're talking about starting points. All right. Now, how does this all tie into the importance of setting your goals? You know, I like to tell stories because I think it really helps drive some things home. And Kobe, one of my people that I look up to the most, he said when he was 17, there was people who were so much further ahead of him as far as skill set is concerned. But all he would do every single day is get up. He'll do 3 days. Wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, do a workout. Do the workout at 9 o'clock with everybody. And then at the end of the day, do another workout. Now, did he get better than everybody after that first day? No. Did he get better after everybody after that first month? No. But he talked about the power of consistency. Your day-to-day progress consistently over multiple days and multiple years, when you look back, you can see how much you've accomplished. And again, it goes into your everyday decision making. Am I going to go out and eat and be lazy and go to Uber Eats or go to Wawa or go to wherever? Or am I going to get up, go to the grocery store, and now that same $50 can last me possibly 3 to 4 days as opposed to one meal, and I'm hungry again later. So these are the things that we really need to consider because that adds up. All right. Now, there's a story that I like to share with you all. It's about me. I think I grew up spoiled. I mean, spoiled in the sense where I didn't have a lot of responsibilities put on me other than to really do good in school and stay out of trouble. I never had to cook for myself until I was grown, right? And as you can imagine, that could probably be an issue living with your woman, you know, that you had no cooking experience and now she's the only one cooking, you know. And for all those macho men, alpha males out there that say, oh, my wife's going to be the one to cook and clean it up, that's fine. Even if that's her, if she takes the brunt of that, but it's still nice to do that for her as well. Be able to be capable of doing that and just wanting to do something for your woman. So I just felt like there should be no way in the world that they're the only one cooking every single meal, every single night. So I tried to surprise my better half. I just moved in with her at that time, and we're vegan, right? So I went ahead, I went on YouTube, I looked up this recipe, and it was a mushroom shawarma, right? And I try to do the works on that thing, man. It was all from scratch. Got the mushroom, marinated the mushroom. I made this tzatziki sauce from scratch. Got the yogurt, got the dill, got the lemon, I got the zest. I'm over here cooking. And mind you, I have really very little experience. If it's not, a burger or a sandwich, I'll make the crap out of a sandwich or a burger now. Anything handheld, I'm good with. But no, so, I mean, everything was coming out amazing, right? But you know what I did? Once I started plating everything, there's this sauce that I haven't actually heard of before the dish. It's called a harissa sauce. And you're supposed to put the harissa sauce on top. Now, if you haven't heard of it, harissa sauce is like an extremely hot paste. Okay? And, I've always thought that, man, I could deal with heat. My father and I used to eat these different peppers to see who has the most iron gut and different things of that nature. So I put a decent amount on it, right? And when I tell you guys, I almost ruined the meal. It was so hot. As we are eating our mushroom shawarma, tears are coming down, cleared our sinuses. We're like, it's so good, but it's so hot. And so again, why am I sharing this story on the Financial Independence Project? Was my girlfriend appreciative? Of course. Was it good? Yes, but it didn't turn out the way that I wanted because I didn't follow the recipe. The recipe was a step-by-step process to get a specific result. And it was just one step that I freestyled. It was one step that I didn't follow to the T that almost ruined our dinner. So what I'm really trying to say is sometimes effort isn't enough. If you're specific about your goals, sometimes effort just isn't enough. You need to put these things in place and follow them to get to where you want to be. So I really hope how you can see this relates, because if you have a goal, and I'm saving $1,000 a month, and you only end up with $750, you may not be able to go on that cruise. Or you may not be able to buy the house in time that you wanted, and now that house is no longer on the market. There's so many things where if you were proud of yourself, listen, I saved $2,500, it's not the $3,000. Or I saved $6,000, it's not the $8,000 you needed for your down payment. So I want you guys to understand, yes, it's good that you're making the effort, but it needs to be calculated. It needs to be specific. And you need to have that vision in mind. I just took on a client recently, and they had, they're in a good spot, but they just had so many options. And I didn't want to start giving opportunities or ideas because it may not fit the lifestyle that they want to live. So I actually told them we're going to reconvene later on, because they didn't have a vision. They didn't write it down. They didn't know where they wanted to go. And they weren't in a bad spot at all. But how can I help you get to a place if you don't know where you're going? Like, you got in the car and say, hey, sir, can you help me get here? Where are you trying to go? I don't know. I can't help you. So, again, I just want you guys to be calculated, because if you're not calculated, it's very unlikely you'll get there, number one. And then if you are calculated and you wrote it down, follow it. Follow it. Okay? So, like I said, it's great to have those around you who will champion and support you if you have a good circle. That's what you're supposed to do. But deep down, you're upset because you didn't stick to the plan. Like I'm still thinking about that shawarma, man. I did remake it, and I followed the plan, and it was so much better. It was much more enjoyable, and I was grateful that my girlfriend didn't say, oh, never cook again. Don't do this anymore, So it's good to have that support for when you do mess up, because nobody's perfect, but do your damn best. Do your damn best. Because you'll look at yourself and know that, like, I was so upset that it didn't come out. Like, she didn't know about any of it. I didn't say, hey, honey, you don't have to worry about cooking. You don't have to. She came home to a meal ready to her. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't come out great, and that hurt. So, like, you guys have a plan. Like, I'm going to, by 33, I'm going to go ahead and have my first house. And if you don't get it till 35, you'll be happy that it gets done, but you wanted it at 33. So I just want you guys to be crystal clear of this video. I want you guys to have a vision and be very specific. I'm going to need one of my goals. I'll just be honest. So I want to live completely off the stock market. And how does that work? I needed to, number one, get $2 million in O Realty. How the heck am I going to get $2 million? I had to reverse engineer that, and every single thing that I've done is like, you gotta ramp up your game. So then I started thinking, okay, if you want $2 million in that, it'll pay a dividend of something that you can comfortably live in. So I get multiple streams of income. Got a vending machine. I have my stock market. I have my 9 to 5. I have my life insurance license. I do mortgage-free life. starting podcasts, and I'm an author, and now I'm working on option trading. So I'm doing a lot of different things to help me get to that place, because without that number, that specific number for the lifestyle I want to live, I was just sort of guessing. Oh, I was putting money aside, but then I reverse engineered it. I said, whoa, you got a lot more to do. And that made me do more. And I wouldn't have known to do more if I didn't have that goal and reverse engineer it. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So have a goal in mind, be very specific, and then start breaking it down and look at how to get there. And do not get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. Just work harder. Get a better strategy in place. And if you need help, that's what you reach out to an expert for. So get a vision, write it down. And I want you to start breaking it down in actionable steps. Start on a yearly basis, then break it down to monthly, bi-weekly if that's how you get paid, or 15th and 30th if that's how you get paid, and then daily. And I think I will show you as far as budgeting, because I think that's a great first step as well. Budget. So get your vision. That's what we're talking about today. I'll help you get a budget put together in place. And then you just follow it. You follow that thing to a T. All right, so we're almost done, but the next topic sort of goes into beliefs. I know many of us stay trapped in a cycle, in a paradigm, because we don't believe that we can get or believe that we can achieve this certain lifestyle. So there was a lot of mantras that I incorporate on a pretty daily basis, often. I would say often, a couple times a week. I'm going to repeat them. And I want you to pick one of them. I want you to write it down, and I want you to start implementing it as often as you can in your life. It would be great if you could do it 2 times a day, as soon as you wake up, as soon as you go to sleep. But even if you can't, put it in your phone, write it down on a piece of paper, put it in your pocket, so every time you touch it, it sends a frequency to your mind to remind you of your goals in this mantra. But my favorite one that I used to go to sleep to, it's actually on YouTube if you look it up, Bob Proctor Money Affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources of income on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. So that's the first one. Another one is by Ian Dunlap. Much simpler. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be wealthy. I deserve to be free. Again, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be wealthy. I deserve to be free. So you guys choose which ones you guys want to do, or look up your own. But it's important to pump yourself and feed your brain positive reinforcement, because apparently the subconscious can't decipher sarcasm or not, which is why affirmations have been proven to work if you do it over and over and over and over again. For the women who have low self-esteem, they say, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are beautiful, you are loved, I am beautiful, I am loved. They'll eventually believe it. So it's a very powerful thing. And a lot of us can't get to the goal that we want to get to because we just think that we're shooting too high and we can't get it. We don't deserve it. So like I said, choose one of those mantras. And like I said, I really hope that you guys found some value in this. It really comes down to have a vision, write it down, start acting on it, reverse engineer it, and implement those mantras and believe the lifestyle that you're looking for. But again, guys, I love you all. Let's grow together. In 2 weeks, we will be going over another episode. If you found any value in this, go ahead, hit that like, share, comment, subscribe button. It's going to be on YouTube. And any questions, reach out. Until next time, guys, let's grow together.